Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to talk about something that is of concern to me, mostly for the people in the Hawaiian Kingdom, yeah? This is to do with the United States rules, regulations that they use to try to control people and get money out of their pockets. It's all a scam, the court system, traffic system, DMV. It's all a scam, okay? And the police, you cannot blame them too much, because when they go to the police academy, they're not taught correctly, and they're a product of the indoctrination of the brainwashing that takes place in the public educational system. So when they go to school to become a cop, many of them go trying to, do good for the public and their people. But yeah, with a brainwashed mind that they grew up their whole lives with, and going to school and being taught incorrect information, they don't really know, so you cannot blame them. We all know, well, at least most of us know, and have already confirmed in our own minds, that the Hawaiian Kingdom is under occupation by the United States government since 1893, okay? That's a whole nother story. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. There's a lot of good verifiable documents that you can find. And a lot of the work has been done by Sai and the acting government of the Hawaiian Kingdom. Of course, everyone will have their own ideas and opinions, but I would suggest you do research. When they were in the United Nations in the year 2000 for arbitration, although the United Nations, and I stand by saying that they are our worst enemy, what do we have, right? So what I want to talk about is when you're being pulled over in your car, okay? I'm not going to talk about the part in how you want to correct your status, how you want to take and put your car back into private property status, making it your own, not that of a private club. But until then, there are things that we need to consider. Although the Hawaiian Kingdom is being occupied by the United States right now, that's what you got. So the rules and regulations is what they expect you to follow, and what they hook you under, especially when you go and affix your signature on a piece of paper. This is why the Queen said she will never put her signature on the paper of the enemy. But through the brainwashing, the majority of the folks in the Hawaiian Kingdom have put their signature on the paper of the enemy. So the way that we're going to deal with this is to know exactly what we signed up for when we signed that contract with the enemy, okay? And one of the most things that are taking much needed hard-earned dollars out of the people in the Hawaiian Kingdom is being taken through the police department for traffic violations, is what they call it, right? Okay. Again, remember, there are differences between rules, regulations, and law. These are not law. They're rules and regulations of a private club. And it's something you need to look into also. But anyway, in order to survive or make it past the police when they pull you over, there are a few things, many things, but there's a few things that if you can remember to do would help you out a whole lot. So one of the things that you should remember is that you do have rights, okay? And you must know them, and you also need to know how to use them. That's important. Okay, remember now, under the United States, they have a constitution which spells out what your rights are under their rules and regulations, or under their constitution. So you need to know what these rights are, right? So once you do look into the Constitution, know your rights, know that you have rights, okay? So the first thing you got to do is remember that you have rights, and you need to know how to use them when you pull over by a cop. So that would be number one, I would say. The next thing is be cool, man. Stay calm. You know, a lot of us, Hawaiian, Kanaka, whatever, we've been trampled on so long by the system that whenever public official, policy officers, police officer, whatever you want to call them, when they pull us over, hey, we already nuts already. We're like scrap. Save the scrap for the UFC, like some of the boys in Hawaii and girls making money. They're scrap over there, not out there that lands you in jail. That's no good. So you want to be cool, man. Stay calm. Okay? The next thing that's important is never consent to a search. Okay? Do not consent to a search. They're going to ask you if they can search your, well, it's called a vehicle at that point. And vehicle, if you look at what the definition of vehicle is in the legal term, okay, legalese language, vehicle means that of commerce. Okay, like I said, I'm not going to get into that, but they turn that car, your mode of transportation, into a vehicle, which means it's that of commerce. And that's how they get you to. So do not consent to a search. Okay. Now the next thing you want to, say to the police is you always ask them if they have a warrant. So in other words, they pull you over, they want to search your car. Well, do you have a warrant? Do you have a warrant to search my car? Okay. Another thing, I know a lot of us is Portuguese like me, right? We like to talk. Well, you never confess to any allegations when being accused of a crime. See, when the cops pull you over, they're going to ask you, do you know why I pulled you over? Because what they want is for you to start talking like a Portuguese, because there'll be some keywords in there that they will use against you, in the event that you do end up in court. And you're going to tell the judge, see, he said this, right? So do not confess to any allegations when being accused of a crime, okay? Now the next thing you got to remember is don't touch the officer or put him or her in fear. Well, of course, they're not going to be scared because they get the gun, right? Mo gun, supposedly, right? So they're not going to be scared. They're not going to really be put in fear, but they will use that against you. If you go over there, touch a cop, even if he was trying to brush off dust or something or pull off hair, they can turn around and say, no, brah, that guy went and touched me and he put me in fear. I thought he was going, like knock me out or something. So I had to shoot him and kill him. See, that's how they get away from murder, yeah? That's how they kill the people. The Kanaka, the Hawaiian, anybody. Even in the United States. They use that. It's not working too much anymore for them because of things that's going on. And that's what you guys need to do too, right? So, anyway, don't ever put a finger or touch the cop or something that they can use to say you put them in fear. Alright? Now, the next right that you have is the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. Remain silent, shut up, don't be a Portuguese. You know what I mean? So you just don't say nothing. The next thing you want to ask him if you're free to go. Right? Am I being detained? Am I free to go? Okay? Because if you're not detained or arrested, you can go. Right? And the next thing you ask for is for your attorney. I want to speak to my attorney. Okay? Because you plead the fifth. I want to talk to my attorney. And then the 10th would be you always file a complaint after it's over. If you believe that your rights were violated, or if you knew your rights and you knew they were violated, always follow up by filing a complaint. Really important, okay? So on your basic stop, when they pull you over, okay? It's always a good idea to keep your information, like your registration, insurance, etc., over the driver's sun visor. Because until you correct your status, and until you correct the status of your car, put it into private property, which is another whole step. Until then, they own it, not you. Look at your registration. You get the registration for that car. It has you as the registered owner. Who is the legal owner? The DMV. Okay, it's another story. We'll talk about that later. Okay. And then you never fight with the cops on the side of the roads. I see a lot of you Lolos. You guys like Joe Blow. You know? What you want to do is you want to document the encounter and fight in court. And that's why they have cameras that you can hang inside of your car. Some is right on top of your rearview mirror. Some you put the suction cup to the windshield. You know, get that, so because you want to document everything. There's cameras that film in the front of the car, in the back of the car, and on the side of the car. That's the one you want, so you can film everything when they pull you over, when they throw their lights on and a siren. Because you know, the cops cannot use lights and siren unless it's an emergency, right? If they turn it on to pull you over in a traffic violation, that's not an emergency. They just broke a federal law, and that's another thing we can talk about. But just have it all documented, right? And then no fight with them on the street. No tell them, oh, no, bro, I wasn't doing like 2,000 miles an hour, you know. No, you document everything, and you go court fight with them. Okay, and which is also court is also a fraudulent thing, but when you have everything in your favor, you got a better chance, right? Then understand your Fourth Amendment right. The cop cannot extend the stop longer than it takes for him to write the citation or warning for which he stopped you for. Okay, they can't hold you there forever. I've seen some cops hold people over for like ever. They cannot do that because, again, no the amendments. The fourth one is they cannot hold you longer than it takes to write you the ticket citation or give you a warning for why they supposedly pull you over, right? Okay? And then you're under no obligation to take a field sobriety test when asked by a cop or police, okay? The field sobriety test is not a pass or fail test. It's designed to collect evidence against you at trial. That's it, okay? But if you're stupid and you get drunk and you like drive, you're stupid, okay? So I don't know about that one. That's a whole other story. So keep all that in mind, okay? So that's what this video is about. So I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna go, but I come back.